No, I just put some styling on it. And
Oh,
by styling, I mean the stuff I may have put on the Whopper. I don't know.
Whopper.
Whoa. That's a nuts. Welcome to that Clickbait Sports. I'm your host, Brendan Aperna, here with the urinating tree, Scooter Magruder, Tom Grassi, and Circle. Gray.
I'm here.
Circle. Oh, Adam. Hi, Adam. 5 Points Vids.
He's in the darkness.
Known for stadium videos. Known for So Bad. Known for having a pretty good punishment he has to live out today. Really not a big show today. Very average sized show. We're going to talk about all these trade rumors and quarterbacks and who they're circulating around. And Five's got a big punishment to reveal to us, right?
Yes. If you guys recall, about 3 weeks ago, I was the winner / loser of the punishment, and I was supposed to watch 80 for Brady and then give you guys a review of the movie while wearing a female Tom Brady jersey and picking one of the characters who I liked, who was my favorite. Ooh. And so now here I am.
Let's get the zoom here.
In a woman's jersey. Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh.
Look at a little twerk right there. You guys don't
can get a drunk guy or two home with you.
I could, but I've realized that I have probably the least feminine looking face of the group. I would say Perna, if he shaved his beard, would probably be the hottest girl out of us all. Now I'm a little
I don't know. Scooter is up there.
Scooter is up there. I'm a little nervous now that you guys ISO'd me. There we go. So let me run you through.
I had to show the punishment.
Chat, right now we need a ranking 1 to 10. What is Adamina on your scale? 1 to 10.
Adam, can I share the photo you DM'd us on Twitter?
No, you cannot. Here, I'll just recreate it. Here, it was just this. It was like,
yeah,
it was here. Hey boys, look, is this Clickbait Sports?
As a heterosexual man who had to edit gay porn as part of his job at one point in his career, I can confidently say looking at you right now is the least turned on I have ever been.
So you have a massive erection.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
10.10 beers.
Oh no.
Okay. Wow. 10 beers? I'll take that.
Take us through this
okay,
movie,
yeah.
though,
Can I do the movie? All right. So basically,
Dustin.
All right. So 80 for Brady. It stars Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, who's a legend, by the way. You guys don't even understand how big of a star Rita Moreno is, and Sally Field. They're 4 old ladies who inexplicably have come together because they love Tom Brady and his Tom Brady-ness. And they want to go. So Lily Tomlin's character, I don't remember any of their damn names, suddenly decides, Skinny Rob, right? She decides that she wants to go to the Super Bowl because she had some cancer tests or something, or she was worried about it. And so they can't afford the tickets because this is a fictional movie. And they enter in a contest and they win the tickets. And then they go to the Super Bowl, but then somehow they lose the tickets because Sally Field enters in a chicken wing eating contest, and then Guy Fieri has the tickets, and so they have to track out. And there's some funny moments, like she refers to her fanny pack as a strap-on, which I thought was in the
trailer. That was in the trailer, and I was like, okay, okay, you're selling me.
There were some funny moments. It was mostly campy and predictable. Jane Fonda looks amazing. Okay, she's like 90 some odd years old, but however, whatever airbrushing and sandblasting they had to do to get her to look good, She looked great. Jane Fonda is an all-time
85.
good-looking-
Jane Fonda.
85. She's an all-time good-looking woman. So, anyways,
She's
this
like
movie-
the Tom Brady of actresses. Then
yes.
just doesn't
So
age.
they go to the Super Bowl. They lose the tickets. They of course cannot find any tickets. There's a very
Hold on.
cheesy
Spoiler
scene.
alert. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah. None of you are gonna see this dang movie, okay? Do not watch this movie. It was $20 on Amazon Prime, okay?
$20?
To rent this
That's a
movie.
real crime.
I mean,
$20.
you're paying for Guy Fieri's cameo appearance.
Right.
I wouldn't
So
be
Guy
surprised
Ferrari's
if Tom
in it.
Brady. I wouldn't be surprised if Brady charged people $100 through the TB12 website to watch the movie.
Now, the absolute best part of the movie was not the cheesy jokes. It wasn't Sally Field and her strap on or calling Guy Fieri Guy Ferrari. It was that this movie was set for Super Bowl 51
Oh
at
boy.
Houston at NRG Stadium, and it was 28-3. So of course, naturally, the Patriots get down big and they're losing. But then the four ladies break into Matt Patricia's defensive coordinator room and tell Matt Patricia to run cover 1 instead of cover 2. And they sack Ryan. Now, it was really surprising to me that the NFL hasn't claimed this movie for copyright because they used a lot of actual NFL footage in the movie itself.
I'm guessing they got
So-
permission. That's
yeah,
the
I'm
only thing
sure.
I know.
I'm surprised I was able to watch it that they didn't block it. So then Sally Field it's Lily Tomlin gets on the mic. She's able to communicate directly to Tom Brady through his headset. And she's like, Tom, I believe in you. You're down 28-3, but you can do it. It's like really emotional. She's like, when I was in chemo, I said, I just have to dig down and do it. And then Tom Brady's like, looks up. This is Matt Patricia. It's an actor playing Matt Patricia.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
funny.
So we're sitting there
Is it
wondering,
Kevin
okay, that's
Bacon?
how he got that coaching job for the
No.
Giants. It's because of some old ladies.
Tom Brady looks at the camera, and this is the best line in the whole movie. He goes, "Let's fucking go!" And then they go out. Oh, sorry, I cussed. I'm not supposed to cuss.
Well,
It was
you
in
were
the
doing
movie.
it in the
I was
context of the
quoting
video.
It's shtick. It's shtick. Okay, and then naturally, of course, it's historical. They go out and win. Then the ladies get together. They kind of allude that the mother had cancer, but she doesn't. It's a happy ending for us all. We all hug, and then we find out that it was actually based on a true story of women who were called over 80 for Brady, and I guess they just like Tom's very tight buttocks. And that was the movie 80 for Brady. I give it a 6 out of 10. It did have a good message that, hey, if you're old like me, go out and do something that you say that you're going to do, right? If there's any message for your life, like just go out and do it.
5.
do it.
Okay.
My question is, are you starring in season 2 of House of the Dragon?
My agent will be in touch.
Okay. there's
I'm
no-
the sports dragon.
But now, you know, I mean, I'm
you can
rocking
really
the
do a
Brady
good
shirt.
Gandalf the Grey cosplay.
Do I have to wear this shit?
imagine-
Can you just
have-
go
You
get a
need to wear
staff?
that the entire time.
Go get a
There
staff
is
and
no
say-
way you're getting out of that.
Look,
It's
Tom,
an hour.
This
Shall
guy
not
was in the darkness for
pass.
3.5 hours.
Gandalf.
You
Hold on.
can survive.
Oh, that is true. Yes, there was a punishment yesterday where this happened. It's true.
What is
3.5
that,
hours.
AI hands?
3.5 hours, and we raised
Tom, take us through your
$17,000.
darkness retreat real quick before we get into sports action. How was
What are
your
you
darkness retreat?
I have a sword.
Watch
I
out,
don't know why.
Fluffy!
I
Oh,
wanted.
that is House of
Uh-oh,
Dragon.
don't cut yourself with all that edge, Five.
I actually won a grappling tournament for this. Ooh, this
Well,
is
Tom, take us through the
2009.
darkness retreat. How was
You
that?
imagine
Grappled
he won a
and they
grappling
gave you a
tournament by
sword?
just stealing that
Yeah.
from a child.
National
Darkness
champion.
Retreat was interesting, Scooter. It was a time. You all called me. Thank you for that. That was nice. It was weird. I was upset because my astronaut onesie that I ordered did get lost in the mail. So that was
I hate
that
when that
I
happens.
hate it when
was disappointing, very much so.
it's
But
happened to me so many times.
the time actually went by really quick. At one point there was a really large bang in my house and I had no idea what it was. And I thought it was a cat while I was like doing it, but then I watched it back and both cats are in the room. So I don't know what that was. So that was fun. That scared the crap out of me.
Maybe you're dating now.
It went by really, really quick, honestly. And then it was only like the last 30 minutes. I was like, all right, this got to be like wrapping up
How
soon,
did you know we were calling? Was it just vibration?
So I called Johnny Barks beforehand and I was like, hey, are you around tonight? And he's like, yes. And I was like, perfect. He has my number, obviously. So I just set it to vibrate and I said, hey, just call me like when we pass a threshold, because for $1,000, which we hit before the stream even went live, I opened the doors so like the cats and dogs come in. We had $5,000, had to go get a beer. And then every $5,000 afterwards, I said, you know what? I'll go get a beer and it'll extend the stream for another 30 minutes. So he kept calling. The problem was I missed the first like 4 calls because I couldn't find I couldn't answer because I was trying to swipe and I couldn't see the phone. So I mean, I told all of you, I peed in the potty twice and I did that with a mask on and I could not see anything. And I realized how low my toilet was, but I did it. And
were you able to read chat at all?
No, I couldn't see.
Hey, that's how it usually is for me. And I don't wear a mask.
So yeah, I can't.
You know, when you think about it, this show has created 2 things that have probably never happened in the history of man. First one, a guy blindfolded, dressed in the dark, raising $17,000 for charity on YouTube. That's never happened. I know it. And also, one grown man through the mail mailing another grown man a woman's version of Tom Brady's jersey to be worn on the show. So really, we're breaking a lot of records here when you think
I'm just
about
not
it.
used to the hair. Like, I don't know what
How'd
to
you
do
squeeze
with it.
into that thing, Adam?
Look, if you're
I
gonna
mean,
do
look
a
how-
blowy, just always try to wrap it up. Do a little bow
Like,
tie.
look how tight
The
this is.
ponytail.
Like, this is like, I've got boobs
Yeah.
now.
Well, I mean, it doesn't leave a lot to the imagination, man.
It does not.
I can't
can see
imagine
my
that movie
physique.
does well in the state of Georgia.
But
It's
you
like-
guys
No,
can see
Falcons fans
this
do
is
not
what
like that.
your money is buying. Every time you donate, you can have us looking like 5 or have us doing a darkness retreat like Tom. But without any further ado, Brandon,
Or you
what's
can
the
do
first
show you
subject?
guys
Curse
something
Burger King
real
commercial.
cool?
Yeah, we guessed
show
this.
it to us.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to get it.
Show
But while
it
Tom's
to
doing that,
us.
Brandon, what's the first thing we're going to be discussing today?
Well, maybe we should start with Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. Oh my God, what is
No,
this?
let's not start with that.
Okay, let's not start with
Okay,
what I meant to
wow.
say is we should definitely not start with Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets.
Okay, that's fair.
What is
What is
that?
this? Has got to be some sort of Viking sword.
This
So
is
a fan-
amazing.
A fan sent me this. Shout out to Guyver. Sent me this in the mail. It took months to get here because it was made in the Ukraine.
What?
And they have a couple things going on right now. So
maybe.
Yeah, shipping would be difficult.
yeah, so
Don't they
if
need that
you are
sword?
Fans of God of War. It is a Leviathan axe replica,
Oh my
and it's like
goodness.
a legit wooden handle, like full metal axe, which is amazing.
Dude.
So
I feel like you need to use that in a video somehow.
Honestly, you
Oh,
need
it
to go
will.
to a Vikings game and we'll dress up as Tom. Go with that axe.
I mean,
And hit
I mean,
somebody
you
with
might
Might
get
get
accosted
arrested.
at the door and
How
arrested,
are
spend
you
the night in
going to
jail,
bring
but-
that into the stadium?
I just say I'm
They'll
Tom
let
Gossett.
you.
They'll let me in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Home
it's for the
ground.
Vikings.
They'll let you into prison is what they will let you into.
Yeah, they will just allow you.
What's going
But
on?
If you
we're
get
not
into
starting-
prison with that, though, you will be the shot caller.
You
Tom.
will be
Yeah.
the king of the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if
Actually,
we're not
I
starting
could
with-
see
If we're not starting with Aaron Rodgers, then what should we start with, Brandon?
Lamar Jackson.
I thought we were
Lamar-
doing a whole segment on franchise tagging. Didn't we say
Yes.
that right before we went
Let's
live?
do that then. Let's do the franchise tag. And I want to start the segment off by saying what the Ravens have done. Sneaky evil genius level chess that
Wow.
they are playing.
See,
Because
I disagree.
they-
I'm on the complete other side. I think this is one of the
Mm-mm.
most foolish things a franchise has done in a while. But go on.
okay, then we shall debate. This is good. We have
we about to debate.
discourse. The Ravens basically said, Lamar, why don't you go out and prove that you're worth $250 million? And if some other idiot franchise wants to do that, let's let them. But if anyone comes in with an offer, say lower than that, all we got to do is match it. And guess who our quarterback is next year? You, Lamar. So instead of us arguing with you on what you think you're worth, why don't you go and find out? And that's what they said to him. And listen, so the only thing that could end up really kind of screwing the Ravens is if another AFC team was like, let's price Lamar in an area where it's too little for him, for him to leave, but too much for them to match, you see? And that's the only way that they could get screwed, where they are stuck with a big Lamar contract. But still, I think it was kind of genius because no one apparently wants to do this. No, where are the offers? These teams are all publicly out on Lamar, and looks like he's going to end up coming back to the Ravens on that franchise tag or matched with the offer.
But what happens when he comes back on the franchise tag, is super pissed, and then only plays a year and wants to leave then? And then the Ravens are screwed, get no trade compensation whatsoever, and they alienated their franchise
tag a second time.
But why would he play like crap? He's in a walk year.
No, I'm not saying he's playing like crap. I'm saying like he's going to be pissed, and like that might potentially like lead to an eventual exodus where the Ravens get nothing.
You're making some quality points, Tom. To further what Tom is saying,
put my axe back.
Lamar Jackson is black, okay? And whether we want to bring race into the equation or not, others are already doing it. Des Bryant made this tweet, and I want to get you guys' reaction to this. But regardless, I have some things to say. I'm sorry, says Des Bryant. I'm sorry, and I'm ready to accept all of the S-talking that's going to come with what I'm about to say. What I dislike heavy about the NFL, whenever guys like Lamar Jackson and other black athletes perform past their contracts, it's always a problem whenever it's time to be paid. Don't draft the player if the character is such a concern. NFL needs to understand it's an investment on both sides, and the players usually lose at that end. Pay Lamar what he deserves and stop the madness. Just immediate reaction on that.
I'm gonna have to disagree. Like, look, I get it. Like, it's good to. I mean, it's good to have a dialogue about this. But what about Deshaun Watson? He got $250 million guaranteed, and he has character issues all over. And he happens to. Right, but he also happens to be African American. Like, I just don't think like it's yes, I think that there's something there. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's always something there when it comes to race in America, always. But I can cite one immediate example of something where, so another player got more than Lamar. I think the problem really is Baltimore just doesn't want to pay. Here's my thought on the situation. I want to hear your thoughts, though.
It's about optics when it comes down to it. If I'm a black player in the NFL and I'm a free agent and I'm looking at teams on which team I'm going to go to, if I look at the Ravens, y'all are not paying your black quarterback. So what can I expect? Quarterback, that is the highest position. If I'm a receiver, if I'm a running back, a tight end, any other position, you're not paying your black QB. How does that look for me? So from an optics standpoint, it's terrible for the Ravens. Even if it's not about race, there's still going to be all these people who says, hey, guess what? Yes, it is. And here's why. So from an optics standpoint, the Ravens look terrible. To Tom's point, why would you want to piss off your franchise quarterback? This is the man who's supposed to be the face of your franchise. And you're daring other teams. You don't care about him so much that you're saying, go play for another team. We might not even match. Sure, we'll take 2 firsts for you. It's just a terrible look, regardless of however you feel about Lamar.
That's the thing. Like, I would agree with you, but if they paid Roquan Smith, they paid him the big bucks. He uses his own agent, so you can't use that against Lamar. Like, he's his own agent, I should say. And they also made Ronnie Stanley one of the highest paid tackles in the league. So I don't know if it's really a race thing per se. I think it's more Baltimore just doesn't want to pay him $250 million guaranteed. That's my argument, because the past 2 seasons he has been injured when they've needed him the most. and he plays a style that people fear is not going to age well. There's always that fear of RG3 that's going to come out of there. And I don't know if it's fair or not. I like Lamar Jackson in his game. I would not pay him $250 million guaranteed, also because he hasn't performed in the playoffs.
How much would you pay Lamar Jackson?
Let's say around 180 to 200
I'd
million.
pay him
guaranteed.
$250 million guaranteed. I would take that deal in a heartbeat all day. If the Giants wanted to trade Daniel Jones for him right now, I would take it. No doubt. No doubt.
No,
Well, of course. I mean, you can pay him $40 million, Have fun with that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think
$250.
Lamar is worth every penny. So I'm in the other camp. Like, I
Do you
don't.
guys think that players like Michael Vick set a bad precedent for Lamar Jackson?
No.
In
It
terms
happened
of
so
like,
long ago.
I mean,
what has Lamar done besides poop during a game? What has he ever
he was
done
an MVP.
negatively?
he won MVP in
Right.
2019.
He's been perfect as far as character. He's been great. I guess if you're a good person, you're probably just going to play like crap, like Russell Wilson, right? You're going to get a lot of money and play like crap.
I think Russ is like a decent example of what general managers and maybe coaches to that extent fear when a player's athleticism sort of drops off a little bit. Like, such a big part of Russ's game was being elusive and extending plays in ways that you were just like, what the hell did that guy just do? And I watched it last year where he doesn't have that anymore. He's a little bit slower. He tries to do it still, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's not consistent. And I think when you're in the league that long and you've played that style of football for that long, the drop off, I think what they fear could be significant. Now, the Russell situations, there's the X factor is he might have had one of the worst head coaches in the last decade. So we don't really.
But look at Lamar, though. Okay, let's circle back to Lamar. He had Greg Roman as his OC. Like, he was.
Yeah, exactly.
They built that offense around Lamar. They made him special, and it worked for a couple years.
Tom, I want to hear your thoughts.
So I honestly think it's more nuanced, and I think it's kind of a combination of everything that everybody's talking about, because I think you have the Cleveland Browns who destroyed the QB market. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine the owners, who are the real power holders in the NFL, don't want it to become like the NBA, right? They don't want to give out those guaranteed contracts because X, Y, and Z. We've talked about this a million times. So I think that is a potential issue. I do think that the amount of teams that immediately came out and said we're not in on it, and the Falcons even retweeting a report, like, that's weird.
Here's my question, though. If you're going to put money and negotiate a contract, take yourself out of the quarterback market,
sure,
and Baltimore can match that deal. And with Atlanta, you have to remember, they went for Deshaun, and I was sitting there wondering, wait, why aren't they going for Lamar? And then you remember, they pissed off Matt Ryan enough that he wanted out. So if you're like the Raiders have not pulled out of the deal, they could go. But once again, Mark Davis is cash broke. You can't really invest $200 million when you have all that money tied up in the Bank of America loan. So my question is, with that non-exclusive tag, unless you can guarantee me that he is going to sign and you'll get him, why would you, create that sort of alienation in the locker room, plus get yourself out of the
alienating trade Desmond Ritter?
They said Desmond Ritter was the guy.
Yeah, well, if you're Washington, right, you don't care about
pissing off. I mean, like, honestly, like, who are you pissing off? Because I can understand. Listen, I can understand if nobody said anything and it was just like Lamar didn't get a bunch of offers, right? I think then that's a different conversation. I think that there is something that is a little weird that you had all these teams come out, or at least it was reported on, saying, "Hey, we're not going after him." Like, it's weird. Like, it is weird.
That is very weird. I think something that doesn't help the case for Lamar also is the fact that Tyler Huntley had a Pro Bowl seat, like he was a sub in the Pro Bowl.
Didn't really.
Did he though?
But still,
Kenny Pickett was not worthy of the Pro Bowl.
He did not play poorly, is what I'm saying.
That's like saying I was a minor league baseball player. Like
you were.
That's okay. I was not.
You were
but
a
it doesn't help.
minor,
That's
and
all I'm
you
saying.
did play
Yes,
baseball.
and I played league baseball. Here's one thing I want to bring this up though. You know what the best fit for Lamar Jackson might be? Deshaun Watson's former team, the Houston Texans. They have a ton of cap space. They have the draft picks from trading Deshaun Watson, and they are just dumb enough to do that.
Right,
That
maybe
would
the dumb
be
part, but
Question
I
is,
just think
too, with
about it.
Lamar,
Atlanta.
you have to
It's
have a team
definitely
around
Atlanta.
him.
If I see, let's go around and guess what we think happens to Lamar Jackson in 2 years. Get ready to clip these upcoming hypotheses. But where do we think Lamar Jackson is in 2 years from now? What team
Brandon.
is Lamar Jackson on 2 years from now?
The White House as president of the United States of America.
I could see it.
President Lamar Jackson would be an interesting run.
They'll waive the whole age 45 requirement for him.
Only if
Just
Mark
make
Andrews
him
is a
the
secretary
president.
of the military.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to touch on, because Tree made a good point about Roquan Smith being his own agent and, negotiating his deal. And we've seen other players do that as well. But I think quarterback contracts are more complicated. And I think maybe also we could just give Roquan credit. We could give Roquan credit. We could give Roquan credit for possibly being a better agent than Lamar Jackson. What we don't know is how Lamar has actually negotiated with the Ravens. We really don't know how they've negotiated with him. We've heard that they've offered him tons and tons of guaranteed money and that he said no to all of that. But that's really coming from the Ravens. And so we don't when you have an agent handle these type of complicated scenarios, I think the agents, do a better job at controlling the information and the narrative.
Yes.
In addition to all the complexities that go into a quarterback, deal. Because the way I imagine this is just Lamar. He's got sunglasses on too, looking very cool when he sits down with the Ravens and they make him an offer and he's just it's not fully guaranteed. No. And that's all he's ever said to them in my mind. So
then credit him for sticking to his guns.
Yeah.
And he's going to get a guaranteed deal. So
he'll get paid.
The NFL is so impermanent.
So are we all saying Lamar Jackson will still be on the Ravens in 2 years? They'll come to a crossroads. They'll meet.
Either that or somebody gives him that $255 million and they just let him walk.
Outside of that max deal with fully guaranteed, the Ravens are going to off match whatever comes in. I think some other team will go 4 for, was it 4 for 45 or something like that? In that range, 4 for 48, and they'll match that.
Yeah,
they'd be stupid not to.
So
but you don't know.
I have a question. So if the argument is right that Lamar Jackson wants more guaranteed money, which, by the way, I think he's more than deserving to ask for, especially when Deshaun Watson got that. And listen, we can talk about semantics all day. That's the Browns. They're stupid. I'm sorry, but they set the market.
Exactly.
And so the rest of the league has to deal with those consequences. And we can sit up here all day and say, oh, well, Watson didn't deserve it and blah, blah, blah. And I probably agree with you. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. And then you have a guy like Kyler Murray, who's getting the second most guaranteed money at over $180 million. I don't know. I think that the Browns shifted the market, and Lamar is playing to that because that happens with every position. It happened with the Jaguars in the wide receiver position. It happened with the Cardinals and DeAndre Hopkins because then Devontae Adams turned around and said, I want to make more money than him, but his contract was a little bit more complex than that. It has happened through every single position. So now with QB, which is the most valuable one, I think that Lamar is he's more within his rights to say, hey, this guy, I don't care what you care. I don't care what you think about him. I deserve that kind of money. And I think it's hard to say you're wrong, especially if Deshaun Watson continues to suck.
Yeah, I mean, he looked decent at the end of last year. Remember, he hadn't played for 2 years.
Deshaun looked pretty bad against the Steelers.
He looked garbage all season long. But you know what? Lamar Jackson was not the only player to get tagged
Yes.
in these past
Many
couple of weeks.
tags.
America's team, that would be the Dallas Cowboys, ended up tagging Tony Pollard, running back Tony Pollard. So we're going to be paying Tony about $10 million next season if we don't come to a long-term deal. And if you combine that with Zeke's cap hit for next season, that puts the Cowboys well over around $30 million that they're spending on running backs. So a lot of people are saying something is coming with Zeke. Something is about to happen. Rapid reaction, though. Did you guys see this coming? The tag on Tony Pollard for the Cowboys? Tom, yes?
Yeah. Wait, I just put it. Is that why the Cowboys are America's team? Because they spend a lot of money when they shouldn't, and they just rack up a really big debt? Because then that makes, you know what? Then that makes sense.
That is
to take
America.
That title.
Yeah, it's like
and
that.
They outsource
and
it to
also,
other teams.
Most people watch us.
Yeah, like
and we got
Lamar
highest
Cooper.
ratings
Got it.
across all teams.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So yeah, Tony Pollard tagging a running back. What do we think? Smart or dumb?
Here's the thing, Scooter.
And 5, be careful because you also similarly tagged a running back.
Yes.
Smart or dumb? What are we thinking?
Well, see, the Giants situation is a little different. Here's the thing, Scooter. I hope you have Despacito in your playlist because you're going to be playing that song when they cut Ezekiel Elliott, and it's going to be sad, and it's happening this offseason. As soon as free agent or legal tampering hits, Zeke is getting cut, and I think a smart move. Like, obviously, Pollard is the better, more valuable running back, but you're going to have to shed some tears, and then you're going to have to do a Cowboys fans reaction video to Ezekiel Elliott getting cut.
So do we think this signals that Zeke will no longer be on the Dallas Cowboys? Is that what we think this means?
Is he taking a pay cut?
Because I got some news for y'all.
Should he take a pay cut?
Jerry Jones has come out and said, I think these guys can coexist amongst each other.
I agree.
With a massively restructured contract, yes, that defers payments till 2042.
Or converts it all to bonus. So
it's
just
very fascinating. To me, this means a couple of things for the Cowboys. To me, this means we might be looking at letting Dalton Schultz walk. That's A. Because originally a lot of people were saying that's who we were going to tag on the Cowboys.
You did that last year, right? Didn't you tag Schultz last year?
Yes. So we drafted 2 tight ends, and they've been kind of overperforming their station. So it could be that we're going to see Schultz walk, and it could also be something happens with Zeke. Whether Zeke is cut, whether Zeke takes a pay cut, that is yet to be seen. But what I can tell you is that Jerry Jones likes Zeke.
Zeke is my center all season long.
Yeah, he's got to pay him a center salary.
Dude, he isn't a free agent until 2027.
Oh my god,
dude, what is
what? Yeah, they locked him up to a long-term deal because Jared Boyd just loves.
He loves his stars, and he was still on his rookie deal.
He loves him.
And if you look at the draft class too, this is what makes this is very interesting stuff because you look at the draft class coming out. This is a very strong running back draft class. If you're looking at, you got a lot of 4.3, 4.4 burners in this class. I'm talking about like this class is like 20 deep running back, 20 deep, great running back. So
we talked about this before the show. I said somebody in the Cowboys organization will get Jerry Jones to the side, show him a whiteboard that says this is Zeke's production. And this is Zeke's salary. Okay. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but these two are off. Now, what do you want to do, Jara? And he's like, I'll just
again
bring him back.
On Zeke's behalf, I must say a lot of people are saying Zeke has been injured. He has not been playing to his full potential.
That's
you're running back.
You're justifying him getting cut now.
As such, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm like Tom. I will always be in favor of players getting their money, whether they're on the Cowboys or not. I want Lamar Jackson to get paid. I'm glad Zeke made all that money and got paid because at the end of the day, it's their bodies that they're putting on the line. You think Lamar Jackson's going to be able to walk up into his 70s and 80s normally? Because personally, I don't. You think Zeke's going to be able to have a long and sustaining life with taking all these hits?
No.
Maybe not. So I am in favor of getting these people paid. I'm also in favor of proper what's the cap? We also have to consider the cap though, because we are not under the cap like that. So a lot of things are happening. But again, Cowboys weren't the only team that tagged a running back. The Giants also tagged a running back. What are your thoughts on that, Five?
I think that another team will offer Saquon a better deal, and if it's anything above the cap number, the Giants will not match. Just think about it. This is a running back, like you said, running back deep draft, and the Giants just signed their quarterback. That was really the issue that they wanted to address, and that's done. And if Saquon wants to come back, fine. Maybe someone makes him a deal that's reasonable, but I just don't see any reason, unfortunately, in today's NFL to give a running back a second contract. It's no matter how special he is.
You don't
what running back on his second contract really actually delivered besides Adrian Peterson, who was a freak?
So if you're saying no running backs second contract,
Derrick Henry.
My rebuttal is what about
they're trying to get rid of Henry?
What about
but he still performed well.
Name recognition.
1,500 yards last year.
Where does name recognition come into play? Because again, the NFL is a business. It's about selling jerseys. It's about filling those seats. If I'm going to a Giants game, I'm going to see Saquon.
Would you rather have?
I'm not going to see Daniel Jones or literally anyone else on the team. I'm literally going to see Saquon.
Would you rather have your team win a Super Bowl and Ezekiel Elliott on the Patriots, or Ezekiel Elliott on the Cowboys for the next 10 years and you guys don't even get close?
That's a question you need to be asking Jerry Jones.
Okay.
Because
I'm just saying,
again,
I would rather, I care about Super Bowls. I care about wins. I don't care about who does it, except for Eli Manning. He was so beautiful.
If you care about Super Bowls, does that mean that signing Daniel Jones was the right call?
I like the deal because they have a 2-year out. That was the only part that I liked. Like the $40 million, like that's a lot. But again, it's not my money. It's not my money, and
but
we don't have a backup plan.
A passenger to a guy whose offense was led by Saquon.
Right, but it's Tyrod Taylor is the backup, so we didn't really have we didn't have an alternative. Daniel Jones is developing. Daboll is the guy that should have gotten $40 million. Okay, like they should have given him the $40 million, but we'll see. We'll see after 2 years. If he's not performing after 2 years, we're done. That's the only guaranteed portion of it. So
I think they get
optically a bigger contract.
They're going to extend him because
you
Dan
think so?
Jones wants him there.
Yeah. I think you make it like a 2-3 year deal, and like have it worked in where it's a 2-year out. Like you know what I mean. So then you can move on from both if you need to.
Well, I'm prepared for him to go somewhere else because like the Carolina
Giants, and I don't disagree with this move, but they didn't pick up Daniel Jones' 5th-year option, so now they were forced to pay him because they could have just paid him $10 million or $20 million next year and been like, okay, we're done, and then see if you could.
But he was coming off a garbage year, though.
He's coming off a garbage career. It wasn't just a year; it was a career, and he had one season, and then they worked themselves into a corner.
And the question is, who else was like that? Blake Bortles.
Here's the thing.
This man just called Daniel Jones Blake Bortles.
I've heard. I was on. Not just me.
If he gets cut after 2 years, yeah.
It's 2018 Mitch Trubisky. It's like extending him. That was somebody
Blake Bortles
said that. 2020 Baker Mayfield. It's like extending him.
Okay.
All right.
So
can we talk about Aaron Rodgers?
We talked about our teams and our tags. Did your teams tag someone? Tom, Tree, Perna?
No.
It was only the Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. Who was the other one? Ravens, obviously.
So, with that being said, do you see your teams tagging someone? And if so, who should that be?
No, they can't anymore.
Tag's over.
Tag's over.
The Steelers were not tagging.
The Tuesday was the deadline.
So I'm going to go ahead and say no. I do not foresee this happening.
Yeah, I don't think that. You know what? Put it down as a hot take. I don't think the Packers are going to tag anybody.
I didn't even know it passed.
They could. The Broncos could have tagged Draymond Jones, but they didn't. So
Tom, were you upset that they hired Rob Grosso as their coach? Do you think that?
No. Do you know how much? First of all, he has a 3-letter first name, and it's 1 letter off of the last name. Now I can just steal his identity, and I'm in.
That's what I'm saying. Did you think that Mark Murphy was like, "Give me Tom Grossi," and they were like, Rob Grosso, close enough?
Yeah.
So I got a list here of all the tagged players, and we can chop this up.
Tagged.
Evan Ingram from the Jacksonville Jaguars, tight end,
pretty smart.
Tagged. Josh Jacobs, so another running back, tagged.
Smart.
There's 3 running backs who are tagged. Yeah.
Deron Payne. I actually saw that and commented on Twitter when that happened. And those are the only remaining ones. The list of people who did not get tagged, which might be just as
everybody. Let's just name NFL players.
Well, like these are people who were alleged to be tagged and then were not tagged. So Orlando Brown on the Chiefs.
Get out of our chat, Brett.
That would be a second-year tag, though, so the price would have been significantly higher for
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, which I'm happy about. Go Gators! Get off the Eagles immediately. Jonathan Jones on the Patriots. Matt Gay, kicker. Was he supposed to get tagged?
Are we canceled?
I'm sorry, if a team tagged a kicker, I'd be like,
they've done that before. They've tagged long snappers.
I think they tagged Janikowski once.
Yeah, just to be nice.
I think Robbie Gould got franchise tag.
Yeah, 1 year the Giants tagged a long snapper or something.
Yeah,
it's just that sometimes they had. I think they changed the rules, but at one point you had to use it, right? You had to tag somebody.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, NFL always does weird.
All right,
stuff.
can we talk about Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, let's get to Aaron.
Who? Smodgers?
Tom, what's going on? I have not been following what the heck's been going on. I'm trying to stay away from all the action. Catch me up. What's been going on?
The nicest part about that 3.5 hours being in the dark was not checking my phone every 5 minutes if I needed to go live because the franchise quarterback that I basically grew up on was traded. So that was really nice. And now I'm back to it now. Yeah. So the problem is there are so many Twitter accounts that have Twitter blue check marks that are just putting out random crap. And the amount of stuff that I'm getting tagged in. The most recent one was that the Packers and the Jets, they're done. They have the deal done, and it's all up to Aaron Rodgers now, which is not true because Tom Pelissero literally came out and said, no, there was presented to them, like the Jets are like, here's what the Packers want, but the Jets have not agreed to anything. We're still waiting on Aaron Rodgers to decide where he wants to do. And so we're just waiting. So you haven't missed anything. You know, of course, the Jets flew out and they wined and dined Aaron Rodgers. They got back at like 6 a.m. And now it's like, okay, well, where do you want to go play? The Packers and Jets have been talking about stuff. And now we're waiting. We are just waiting.
Tom, this sounds like the shame spiel that you have
expunged
on us the last 3 years.
Done with it. And it's not even him.
Don't make fun of my sweater,
like
Kevin.
I just want to know what the Packers are going to. If he comes back, great. If he retires, great. If Jordan Love is the guy, great. Like I just want to talk about free agency. I want to talk about the draft. I want to talk about let's analyze the opponents that the Packers are going to be playing. But I can't do any of that because I have no idea who our quarterback is.
What's your heart saying right now?
I think he goes to the Jets. I think he goes. I do not think he's going to retire, and I think at this point he's going to go to the Jets. I do. I think it's going to come down to compensation, but I'm thinking
that's what I was gonna ask. Like Tom, like, are you mentally ready for it to be over? Because like the last couple of years, you've kind of said it, but it really wasn't serious. Now this is serious.
So
are you mentally ready for the Rodgers era to be over?
It's not even necessarily mentally. It's that I have a lot of conflicting emotions because I can logically go, I think it's time for the Packers to move on. I think it's time to see what they have in Jordan Love, who might not be good. Like I'm willing to accept that. But I think that it's time for them to move on because it's not even for this year. It's for future years where his cap hit is going to get even worse. Like you think it's bad now. The Packers, if they trade him today, like they're still getting a $40.3 million cap hit and they cannot get out of that. So
dead cap, right?
That's just from old contracts that have been restructured. We're kicking the can down the road. You can't get rid of that. Now there's talks, of course, because he's owed about $59 million this year for whatever team he goes to. There's talks about the Packers eating some of that contract so that the compensation goes up. So for me, I love Aaron Rodgers as a player 1,000,000%. That guy, like ever since I was 18, he has been my QB. Like, so that
he turned you into a man. Some say
he did. Yeah. He was there. So, it hurt like hell when Favre left. It's gonna hurt when Rodgers leaves. I can still say, like, I think it's the right thing for the team, and be very grateful that I got to watch amazing football and I got to see a Super Bowl win. Like, that was really cool.
Just
like,
one,
though.
So I mean,
Steelers got 2 with the guy that retired with us. So
we got 2 with some bumpkin from.
Have you ever been a fan of the Packers with like a quarterback shuffle going on?
Nope. It was Favre. Well, it was Favre. It was Favre going.
That was the 80s. Too young.
Yeah,
but this is brand new for you. You didn't have Quincy Carter.
No,
you didn't have Drew Henson.
Brett Huntley, Seneca Wallace. There's.
This ought to be glorious.
Tom and I saw Brett Favre play when he was like 12.
We had a baseball player as our quarterback for a season.
Oh no, you poor thing. We're so sad. We had to deal with Kent Graham as our starter.
You had the corpse of Drew Bledsoe. That was also really funny.
Yeah, I think they had Vinny Testaverde start a game or 2.
Oh, yes. You had Kyle Orton as your quarterback.
Brandon Whedon.
Did they ever have Fitzpatrick? Did Kitna? Was John Kitna?
I think Kitna was. Yes.
Andy Dalton
started.
My gosh.
Oh, you were fine.
Tom, this is the future. If Jordan Love sucks, which I think he might be okay, just based off some of the things that I've seen. But if he sucks, it's going to be a ride. Strap in.
But why?
Why is it going to be a ride?
We haven't talked about the actual Jets at all.
So
would Aaron Rodgers make them even better? Would he make them better?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm going to argue
against
Aaron
Rodgers if you're getting the Aaron Rodgers who keeps overthrowing everybody.
We need to let 5 argue against that. 5?
Because Aaron Rodgers didn't get the Packers to the playoffs last year.
The worst version of Aaron Rodgers is better than any Jet quarterback since Ryan Fitzmagic, who had just like crazy good outlier season.
I get that.
Their passing leader, I still think, is Joe Namath.
Listen, a man in a wig and a Tom Brady jersey is about to explain his logic here.
Explain your logic.
It's the Jets.
The Jets have had the 3 elite quarterbacks: Namath, Testaverde, Sanchez.
Chad Pennington. Put some respect on Chad Pennington, dude.
Did you just say 4 name 3? You couldn't even
Fourth is Fitzmagic. He's in a different category.
No,
the
Chad
Jets
Pennington
never had a quarterback ever. Namath finished under 500 for his career.
Namath is overrated. I mean, he had a few good years in the AFL, then the injuries took him down in the 70s.
Yeah,
but
Michael Vick.
There's no way. Aaron Rodgers elevates that team 1,000,000%, because I'm sorry, are you saying compared to a Zach Wilson? Like that's a really large gap. And it's a healthy Aaron Rodgers. No, what by far they will be just fine.
What do you think the compensation would be? Or what do you think the Packers are looking for?
They're definitely looking for a first-round pick. I think you get the 13th overall pick and then maybe a conditional one if he plays again next year.
I don't know if you'll get that.
Okay, if you're the Jets, though, you need at least 2 years, right? You're not going to just rent him for 1 year.
Which is why I said, that's why the conditional one is going to probably come in.
Yeah. You need him to guarantee that he plays 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's what they talked about too. But the fact that they're making these moves and are still in on the conversation, they must have talked to Aaron and he's like, yeah, I'm willing to do 2 years.
So are we saying it's either Jets or it's just the Jets? That's the only competition right now.
It's just the Packers, but he could still go back to that. My gut is saying Jets.
I think the Packers want Jordan Love. Like, I think that they're ready to move on to him. Like, I think, and that they're fine with it.
We're not going to get to.
And that they are ready to Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, because it worked at that time. So, and maybe they have one in Jordan Love.
When will we know, Tom? Is there a timeline? Like what's
Packers hope for March 15th, and we're still here. So, I mean, it honestly, because there technically is no I mean, you could say like the clock is ticking and all that great stuff, but unless the Jets pull out of the deal, and then it's like the Packers go, well, you're retiring because like we don't want you anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, I'm hoping it's with it. I thought it was today. I really thought it was going to happen today.
Yeah, it's they you know, they would like to know who their quarterback might be before free agency starts on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they would like to know now so they can start tampering legally come Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Correct?
Why do they call it legal tampering? Can they just change it's such bull crap. It's just like NIL or whatever with college. Like stop.
Do you guys know what the best
bloody.
video clip from the day was though?
What's that?
It's from the NBA. And I apologize in advance, Scooter, but this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
You know, most of the refs are trying hard. I like a lot of the refs are trying hard. They're pretty fair. They communicate well. And then you got the other ones who just want to be dicks and it just kind of fucks the game up. Nobody's coming to see that shit.
That's my new favorite NBA player.
Fred VanVleet?
Baby, that's my GOAT.
He just
watch
says
the,
it
That's
like
a
it
short
is.
clip.
If you watch the extended clip of him and he talks about everything, he basically says he feels like he's getting targeted by the refs. And then you pull up the texts. He's gotten 8 texts this year. 4 texts were from Ben
Same
Taylor,
Yeah.
the ref that he called out for being like, bro, what are you doing? Like, let's play the game. And a lot of people are agreeing with Fred VanVleet right now.
Officiating, everybody hates it. It's like a political party. Everyone, it's like the political party that you are not. You're just like, don't like it. Does it do some things good? Don't care. Don't like officiating ever for any reason under any circumstances, unless they help me win a Super Bowl with the Chiefs, which is the only time they like the refs.
Let's talk about a couple more trade rumors. Then we can get out of here. What do you guys think about this rumor of DeAndre Hopkins to the Cowboys?
Not gonna happen.
It's they have access to wide receivers. You already have CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. There's no point in getting DeAndre Hopkins, especially.
You got that guy in the practice squad you were gassing up.
What guy
was that guy?
I don't know. Weren't you saying, Scooter,
Florida
that guy that you were
yeah.
like that one guy who was like wide receiver 7, and he was like, oh man, no, that's the one.
Yeah, he's still on the practice.
You don't need DeAndre Hopkins. You got that guy.
I remember.
But Tree, I definitely disagree. We need another receiver on our team, and we will get another receiver on the Cowboys. I just don't know if it's going to be DeAndre Hopkins.
You already have a receiver. His name's Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, he's a cornerback.
You know what you guys need? You need more depth at center because Ezekiel was not that good at center.
What other rumors have you guys seen, though?
Diop would make the Cowboys a lot better if he lands there. He's going to make wherever he goes, better.
What I've been seeing online is that he wouldn't really help the Cowboys with our problem with speed. If you think about it, we just have really CD as our burner, and pretty much that's it. So he's more
speedy
burner.
I'll
then
take
the counterpoint
who will
was
catch anything you throw at him.
That was the counterpoint, is that we just need him to catch a couple slants, catch a couple out routes, and that's really it. And
see, the problem with CD is he is a burner, but then he like drops it when he's.
Did you watch any Cowboys games last year?
I mean, I did.
CD was their entire offense.
You did not see CD drop that many passes.
CD was their defense.
All right, fine.
Every time he did, he like made up for it a series or two later.
CD did have some issues with his hands, but for the most part, he compensated that with his.
What happened in the Niners game, though?
So, what other rumors are you guys seeing?
Darius Smith wants to be off the Vikings, and the Vikings don't want to release him. Oh, I'm so surprised. Zadarius Smith, I'm shocked. I'm so shocked.
Whoa.
Tell us how you really feel, Tom.
Oh, my God. Listen, when Zadarius Smith came to the Green Bay Packers, I was so happy. And the guy played like a stud for a while. Like, he was good. And then there was the whole thing where he wasn't nominated as a captain, and he went out and bought his own captain chain because he was all upset about that. Then he got hurt, and then he just left, and no one knew where he was, and he just showed up one day, and players were like, "Oh, he's back now, dude." And then he was like, "Oh, don't want to go to the Packers anymore. Like, let's go to the Vikings." And then he did real well in the beginning, played real well against the Packers week 1. He had a few good weeks. And then he disappeared because that's what he does.
He's a magician.
And now he doesn't want to be on the Vikings anymore. And he's posting like, thanks, Viking Nation. Thank you, everybody. But the Vikings have no intention on releasing him. That's Zadarius Smith. So I hope he goes to the Bears. And then I hope he goes to the Lions. I hope he does the whole NFC North tour. And it's the same thing year after year.
And I hope he gets 3 sacks a game against the Packers.
You wouldn't want him back on the Packers, Tom?
I don't think he'd be allowed back in the building.
Okay.
He's not even allowed to play against the Packers anymore.
We remember,
It's just like, nope.
That's fair. That's fair.
I got to play today. You're not getting into Lambos, Darius.
You know what's interesting? Can I just share a story real quick? I was on this live stream. Hang was doing a live stream
without us.
Yeah, this is back in the day though, and I was on a live stream with Spice Adams.
Oh yeah,
DeMarcus Ware.
Ooh.
And
all-time legend
OBJ.
Oh.
And it was like a
so
thing where fans
people
could join in, you could talk to all of us type situation. But on this live stream, I asked OBJ. I was like, is there any chance you'd go back to the Giants? And immediately he said, absolutely not. Like he was like firm, definitive. No chance I'm going back. Cut to a couple months later, Cowboys are about to go to the playoffs and OBJ's rumored we're going to go meet with OBJ. But then you turn around and who else is he meeting with?
The Giants.
New York gosh darn Giants. The same team that he said never. Absolutely not. So I just wanted to share that because I also have no idea.
There's
different
never,
management team.
there's checkbooks.
Different management team.
Yeah, that's true.
He
Joe
went
Shane
from
was like
to Joe Shane.
Yeah, maybe
What?
he was mad at Dave
Probably
Gettleman.
Gettleman.
Yeah, he was like, "Screw you, Gettleman."
Gettleman
You
and
traded
Shermer.
me for
Yeah.
Where do we
peanuts."
think OBJ ends up though?
You got Gettle.
Retired?
Bet minimum contract just to prove himself, man. He hasn't played in over
I
a
don't
year.
think he's gonna play again. I think he's good.
You think he's going to get a vet minimum?
Well, he hasn't played in over a year. He's nearing 30. He wasn't looking that good coming off 2020. I mean, he was a solid slot guy.
tore his
He wasn't
ACL?
anywhere near what he was. And then
Yeah.
he got injured in the Super Bowl. He has not played. There's always been rumors about his physical. That's why he didn't sign last year. So
basically you're
he's
saying
at the
he's going
point
to
where
the
he has
Chiefs.
no leverage. He has to prove
Yeah, it's
it.
like Des Bryant was at the end. You know, Des
He's going to
Bryant.
the Chiefs is what you're saying. Vet minimum.
Yeah, maybe.
Ravens.
Maybe.
Honestly, that'd be historical.
Right before
He
the
goes to
NFC
Chiefs.
Championship game.
That's the only
he might
place
go
I
to the
don't
Chiefs.
want DeAndre Hopkins to land is Kansas
No.
City.
That's
All
fine.
right. Can we do
I
the
might have
countdown?
a
Yes, please. I
very real heart attack.
have a hot date with the Whopper later.
Look at this. Look at this.
We're done.
How hot would is this a girl that you see in the Oh yeah. Let's do it.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. This is why you subscribe to the whatever 5 is doing over there. And it's, I don't know, now it's a receding hairline that it's honestly a little terrifying now. You kind of look like the Jeepers Creepers monster, like where it's silhouette, but you rock
You look
it,
like
buddy.
a conehead. You look like the conehead.
Last second.
He looks
fitty.
like that guy from
Oh, yeah.
Scary Movie, you know, with the fingers.
Yes.
147.95.
Paul Giamatti's character.
I made 147.95. I
Matt,
ain't losing today.
49.99.
How is it that
167.97.
41.62? How is it a woman goes like from this? This is attractive to this,
Whoa!
and it's just
Last
not.
second 200. Thank God, not me.
Whoa!
It's not
Oh,
me.
who got the last
That's not
second
me.
200?
That's not me.
I don't think it's me.
Hey, look,
Scooter?
look, I already had red. I had
No,
already
that's
read.
Scooter.
No, I literally already
What's
said.
the adjusted
You
total?
can't deny a man dropping 200.
Well, there's
Yeah,
a delay. You have to remember with the countdown. So that
Remember
does
the
count.
delay? What the
Yes.
heck?
There's a stream delay on
I had
YouTube.
216.97, and I am no
Bro,
longer.
I
punished.
literally did we not agree to the rule that
Yeah,
if
not
you
everybody
read,
read.
you're done?
Yeah.
200. You can't deny him.
Did we not agree to this
Hey,
rule?
I had
you
to
get,
deal with
Scooter?
it too multiple
your
times
total?
when we
I did.
started.
What's your total?
Between me and this guy.
Actually,
It's true.
I kind of have a case with Scooter. I kind of agree with Scooter.
Honestly, 5 looks different now.
Honestly, you look like Will Smith's wife.
Put the wig back on. This is
Okay,
weird now.
Sorry.
G.I. Jane 2
not
can't
over
wait to
5.
see.
You got to wear it. Okay.
If Scooter doesn't want the 200, he has to Venmo me $200 right now for me to accept the punishment.
Oh, I like that.
Venmo.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That's a lot of money to tell.
That is a
Yeah.
lot of money to
200
tell
bones,
someone
man.
that
I mean,
you're not going
that's
to
rent
be
money, dude.
punishment. That is.
What's your Venmo?
What,
Bro,
where do you rent?
You guys know what I
live in LA
barely
in
have
a
any
street
time
in
these
LA?
days. You know what's happening.
Oh no.
Dude, in the middle of Aaron Rodgers watch, I did a 3.5 hour stream. In the middle of it.
Oh, dude.
So,
I have a
I
bunch of
think
stuff
that
going
you
on,
guys
too.
should flip a
Not
coin.
hear what
Tough
I'm
cookies.
doing before. Like I literally was talking to you guys before
right.
about this.
Should we flip a coin for this?
Whatever we decide, we need to come to a consensus on the whatever we're talking about because we had said once you read, you're done. We had said that.
Yeah,
So
we actually did say that.
yeah.
Regardless of if
Hey,
I get punished,
we're like
or not.
Fred Van
Get
Fleet.
punished. I just don't want to say somebody's $200 doesn't count.
Yeah,
It does count though. They
All right, look,
purposely
how about
did that.
Do we
to-
count that
to
200
create
towards
this
next
debate.
week?
How about this?
No.
I'll do the
Doesn't work that way.
punishment for this week, but going forward from now on, no matter what, once
Isn't that
you
the
read,
rule already though?
you're done.
It's already the rule. It's like saying, look, I know you traveled, but going forth from now on, you can't travel anymore in the NBA. Come on. It's already
Are
the
we in
rule.
agreement?
Do we want to do once everybody's done reading? Because that's fair.
Because I haven't read.
Ooh,
Because
honest.
Kurt didn't read.
Yeah.
Dual
Well, then
punishment.
someone could stall though. Someone could stall. Ooh, a duet
you
punishment.
literally stalled for me to get more donuts.
Here's the
That
thing.
already happened.
Here's the thing.
Wow.
I have not heard Scooter sing on this for any reason. I have not heard Scooter sing a song. I don't know if he can sing.
Oh, Scooter's got to sing. He's got to sing a Bruce Springsteen song.
No, he's got to sing "Fly Eagles Fly."
Oh, fly Eagles fly.
If it's Fly Eagles Fly, it's a veto. Just so you know.
Okay, all right then. You should
How about
have
"Hail
to
to
sing
the
hail to
Redskins"?
the hail to the
it's a
commander.
What's Bruce Springsteen's longest song?
Ooh, I'm on fire.
That's not this long. That's actually a pretty short song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm
Streets
a
really know
Philadelphia.
Springsteen.
I mean,
huh?
Dancing in the Dark's just
I'm
pretty so
dancing in
good.
the
Pretty
dark.
good.
Hey, I'm down for this.
I didn't even know if Scooter can sing. Can you sing, Scooter?
Trying
You
to
got
do a
bars?
duet.
Take me high.
Brandon?
Ooh, I think Brandon and Scooter should sing
Duet?
Islands in the Stream.
Duet. I think
A
it should
duet?
be a duet.
Yes,
a
or,
duet would be
or
nice.
I Had the Time of My Life from Dirty
Yeah, but I
Dancing.
can't sing. We already know that.
Can you guys sing
That
a
makes
whole
it
new
even
world?
funnier. Ooh.
What if
Scooter, you
Scooter
sing the
gives
jazz
What
me?
if I
part.
use my
Okay, I
Or-
give Scooter Bruce Springsteen.
What's the song from
Scooter's
Lion?
got to give me a song to do.
Can you
How
just
about we
love
do
tonight,
Love is
is
an
it?
Open Door and you do the female part and I do the male part?
Love is an Open Door? Who's that?
Like was it
Who sings
one of
it?
the
Who's
Disney
artist?
movies?
Oh.
Love.
I don't know this
is-
I
song.
want a whole new world.
No, can
Whole
you
new
feel the
world.
love tonight?
Can you feel the love?
Now that's a great song, and I will sing along with you. That's not even a punishment. That's just
Honestly,
Can
you're
you
gonna be
feel-
Timon at the end, dude.
Yeah. It stops.
Oh, I can see what's happening. What? I know. I listen. We go right now.
Listen, Tom.
Right now.
All right.
Are we
Did
Did
doing
you
a
audition
duet
for that part, Tom?
or not?
I
How do
should've.
y'all not know
Yes.
what Love is an
All right.
Open Door?
I just don't know that song.
I don't
But
know
I'll sing
Love
the
is an
woman
Open-
part.
I know Love is a Battlefield. I know that.
Oh, it's Frozen. Nobody's watched Frozen.
Oh yeah,
Man,
I've never seen Frozen.
Brandon has watched Frozen 18 times
Yeah,
already.
you haven't watched it with
How do you
Carmi?
not know what Love is an Open Door is?
Whoever gets the most donations.
She's too young
that
to
the-
watch it yet.
Is that the
What was it?
Let it go.
Yeah, you let it go, let it go. Let it ba, ba, ba,
Or-
ba, ba,
or-
ba.
my
From
God,
Frozen
it's gotta be-
2, the
All
that
right,
song?
decide on a song.
Yeah,
Pick
give me,
it.
Just give me a song.
Kenny, pick that.
Freebird.
Okay, I don't know what that means. but I'll
American
take
Pie.
You don't know Freebird, Scooter? Come on,
it.
you
I
never played
literally
Guitar Hero
did
2?
not know who
Show-
Bruce Springsteen was.
you dig
and you're saying I don't
I
know
am
what
Bruce.
Freebird is.
And I
Like,
am
I'm supposed to know-
Springsteen.
Freebird
All right,
is a
duet.
restaurant to me.
Brandon, what do you got coming out?
Duet.
Nothing. But we got AJ Dillon coming on the
Yeah, we're
GPS
doing
tomorrow.
What? AJ Dillon's coming on your
AJ
show
Dillon tomorrow, GPS 11 a.m. Eastern. Be here, and I'm going to try to convince him to let me tackle him.
Sure.
No, I want to do it for charity, and I want him to. I'll suffer broken bones for it. I totally would do it for the
broken bones. Wow.
I know AJ in real life. He's a big man.
I have a full breakdown of the New York Giants boat picture coming out after this.
Ooh, there you go. I have NHL trade deadline sports ball. I'm hoping to have that out tonight. I'm waiting for a sponsor approval for one thing, but otherwise that is done. I'm just waiting on the blessing.
Skits.
Listen, I got a Cowboys meeting coming out, NFC East meeting. Be on the lookout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty.
Did y'all decide on a song?
What am I doing for a punishment?
You know what? Surprise the audience. Figure it out in the group chat. Let's go. We got things to do.